Good morning, birdies. How are you? It is 8:52, September 17th. I have recovered from what was a most miserable old man hangover yesterday, and more miserable, made more miserable by the fact that I actually had to be productive and work, and then made worse by the fact that there were powers that be that made it more difficult for me to work. F you, Verizon. I can't really stand Verizon, but I don't even want to talk about it because today is a new day. I owe Emily Gidley an apology because I really wanted to go to your party, but just, Daddy can't do 2 nights in a row, especially 2 late nights. Daddy can't really do 1 late night in a row, obviously, but the option, the threat of 2, he can't handle. Although I did hang out yesterday, early bird special, like an old person. They eat dinner at 3. Old people, they drink from 4 until like 8, and then they go home. And that's what I did with my friend Walter, who I had not seen. A 25-year friend of mine. I hadn't seen him in all summer, so we sat and we involved ourselves in one of our favorite pastimes, which is sitting at Dorian's and watching all the little fishes go by. The fishes being the very, very pretty women that walk by the floor-to-ceiling windows that corner Dorian's Red Hen restaurant on the side street and the avenue. So you have a wide swath of periphery to watch these very, very cute girls go by. In Yorkville, where I live, happens to have the distinction of having the second highest single female to single male ratio, second only to Chelsea, which of course is Chelsea, and reminds me, like, why aren't I living in Chelsea? Because it reminds me of like when I was at college at Vassar in 1984, where the ratio was 60-40 female to male, and a third of the guys were gay. So it's like, why aren't I living in Chelsea? And then I remember, yes, because it's too expensive. And there's a nice swath, did I say that word already? There's a nice collection of very pretty girls. And Walter and I were watching the girls go by, and we saw one very, very cute girl across the street. And she had a guitar, which Walter and I are musicians. Having a guitar is an extra 2 points to a musician if you're a cute girl. I mean, for me, these are my metrics. So it's like here, okay. If you play an instrument, that's an extra 2 points. So if you're walking on the street and you have a guitar, or a tuba or a cello, that's an extra 2 points because that's just sexy. For me, also, having an accent, I think that's not even gender specific, but having an accent is an extra point. An American accent, having a foreign accent is an extra 2 points. For me, also, being 5'10" or taller, just being tall and pretty, that's an extra 1.5 for me. I like tall, because that way I don't feel like I'm walking my niece, to great adventure or whatever, to the park, when that, and the fact that when tall sex with a pretty girl like in the shower, I don't feel like I'm playing Twister. Because with a short girl, it's like you're almost like you're like trying to not drop groceries. and it's just and there's a greater threat of physical harm because of that. Girls who can actually sit at the bar by themselves, as I mentioned before, an extra 1.5. Girls who are pretty without any visible makeup, that's an extra 1.5. So here, Walter and I saw this very, very cute girl across the street, and she was very pretty. She had a sundress on. She had boots, an extra 2 points. Carrying a guitar, an extra 2 points, and we were just stunned. Wow, look at that. Look at that. And as she waited for the light to change, as she crossed the street, it turns out that it happens to be someone that I know. Happens to turn out to be my friend Justine, who works at Dorian's with me. But it's so odd. All the girls that work at Dorian's, I pretty much only see them when they work at Dorian's, and they're the dress code of being all black. So I've only seen like an all black dress. And here she was dressed like a human being, and it was quite delightful. And me being the photographer, hobbyist that I am, I was like, I would like to get some just great pictures of you with your guitar or whatever. And then she volunteered. I took some great photos, which I posted here on Facebook. And she volunteered to play. I took some photos, and me, not even giving her the benefit of the doubt, I was like, all right, yeah, go play your little, ukulele, whatever. And it turns out she's got one of the best voices of any female friend that I have. She's phenomenal. phenomenal. So I want to give her props, and I posted some videos of her singing. And Walter and I are already pretending to be, no, we're not pretending to be, we're actually going to try and help her out, at least to get her a demo done, because we can record music right here in my apartment, and trying to figure out if we're going to have her start out with her first demo song being like a cover of like an old tune that a guy would sing as opposed to a girl. Like that, like a guy usually sings, but then there'll be, like in Across the Universe, there's I Want to Hold Your Hand. It was sung by a girl in that movie, and it's a great rendition of it. You could look for it on YouTube. It's quite haunting and good. And then possibly maybe write some original stuff for her also. So I want to get just a personal shout out to Justine for, I love it when girls surprise me, and she surprised me, and she's got some mad musical skill. Never judge a book by its cover. So that's it. Check out her stuff. If you have any ideas for what songs you think she could sing, she's kind of the ilk of like Joel. Obviously, you'll hear the folksy, single female kind of music, which is always around since Suzanne Vega and Sarah McLachlan and Lisa Loeb, and we'll take any requests, so to speak. I'm going to take off now. It's 6 minutes. Happy birthday, Andrew Dyer, who I used to work at Time Magazine with, another fellow computer person who understood my pain working with people who don't understand what computer people or creative people do. Hopefully you have a very, very good one. Enjoy the day with you and your family. Everyone else, have a great Thursday. Love ya. Ciao for now.